right now in England, as you know, the polls show that Harry's never been less popular.
Prince Harry's done so much press for this book, but we've really just heard a lot out of him over the last month or so. Do you think now that the book is out there, should he learn the value of silence? I mean, what should it look like going forward?
Well, it's funny. I mean, they said that they remained silent when they left, and except the kind of the cloak and dagger escape from the royal family and Great Britain and coming to the U.S., I don't remember them being particularly quiet.
Right. I don't.
Time really when they were like, no. I don't think he'll ever. I mean, I think he is a master of. He charms audiences. I have to say, watching the way he charmed the live audience on Colbert last night was fascinating to me because even the slightest reaction in the audience he would seize on and interact with people, and it's magic to Americans. So it was kind of interesting to see the public support is still very much there for him in this country, I think. Mm-hmm. Helped, by the way, by the Jeremy Clarkson comment not that long ago, where he said he wanted, the British TV personality who said he could hardly wait for the time when Meghan would be paraded naked through the streets of London, pelted with feces. I mean, that kind of, well, all of a sudden everybody who was doubting the Harry and Meghan's claims saw that in fact there is great amount of racism and bigotry that they have to deal with. So I think right now in England, as you know, the polls show that Harry's never been less popular. Mm-hmm. And Meghan even less so. But it's funny when you look at those polls, Camilla is just a few points above Harry. So there's, it's kind of misleading.
Right. I mean, do you think, obviously hypothetically speaking, but do you think that he will regret this from years from now? And do you think this book will accomplish what he wants, which is what he says, to have his family understand him better?
I think he probably regrets having put in the Taliban death kill count, because that actually raises a huge physical, he's blaming the press for focusing on that and not providing context and everything, but he didn't have to mention it, and it does kind of, I think, endanger his family, and he's rightfully just said that last night. Mm-hmm. But will he come to regret it? For example, the way that Diana regretted the Martin Bashir interview? No, I don't think he will. I think he feels he had to get this all off his chest and really, state his case to the public. And I don't, now everything hinges on his relationship with Meghan. If they stay happily married, then this will probably work for him. If there are any cracks in the marriage in the future, I don't know, maybe then he might come to rethink, period.
Harry talks a lot about how he wants to sort of use his platform for good and support all these organizations. We haven't seen a lot of that yet. And, based on what he's done so far, do you think that what's his legacy going to be? I mean, can he reshape his image after this to change what his legacy might be? Or is he always going to be the person who was ousted from the royal family?
I think he will be that, but he's also got this, the veterans, the Invictus Games, and his, that clearly is his number one. That, mental health, these are areas where he has personal experience and I think a real kind of deep connection to those causes, then he'll continue doing that kind of work. But of course he'll be known as the rebel. He was the rebel prince, and he's really the rebel prince now. If he still stays a prince, that's another question. The titles can be withdrawn. It would take an act of Parliament technically to get rid of the prince designation, but not the HRH designation. That could be done, with the stroke of a pen by the king, just as the Queen stripped Diana of her royal status. And that's not unlikely. And of course, we're not going to see a prince, I don't think, a title given to either Archie or Lily or any of the Sussex children. Anne's children don't have them either, but that was what she wanted. I think Meghan and Harry would very much like to have titles bestowed on their children.
For more news, content, and exclusive interviews, make sure to hit the sub, like, and bell button down below and visit usmagazine.com.